Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this early in the morning. It's just 7:15. Today, this session is arranged by or supported by or arranged by a firm, the similar entity of arm of Alliance for Regenerative Medicine in Japan, which is called the Forum for Innovative Regenerative Medicine. And today, we would like to explain about the so-called doing business in Japan. And especially the subject must be implication, or subtitle is implication of new regulatory framework. And next slide. This shows today's agenda. And at the first, the greeting should be made by Dr. Toda-san, who is a chairman of the firm. And secondly, Mr. Nishimura, who is from Ministry of Economy and Trade and Industry. He's a director of Bioindustry Divisions. He will make a new era of the regenerative medicine. And the next speaker comes from Ministry of Health and Labor and Welfare. The Dr. Isobe, he is a director of Medical Device Evaluation Division at the Pharmaceutical Safety and Environmental Health Bureau. And he will explain with the title of Securing Quality, Safety, and Efficacy for Regenerative Medical Products. And last speaker is Dr. Maruyama, who comes from the PMDA, Japanese similar entity with the U.S. FDA. He is a reviewer director, the Office of Cellular and Tissue-Based Products. And he speaks about the consultation and the review pathway for regenerative medical products in Japan. And the final closing remarks will be made by Dr. Iwai, who is also a vice chairman of the firm. And before moving the speaks, I think I would like to explain to you about the governmental organization of Japan. To be honest with you, it's a little bit complicated. But today, three speakers come from the ministry or other agency. So the top far left is Ministry of Economy and Trade and Industry. Mr. Nishimura comes from the Bioindustry Division. The division is a part of the Commerce and Information Policy Bureau. And the next speaker, Dr. Isobe, comes from the Medical Device Evaluation Divisions, but that is a part of the Pharmaceutical Safety and Environmental Health Bureau of the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare. And Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Agency, from which Dr. Maruyama comes from. His section is Office of Cellular and Tissue-Based Product. But Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Agency, we call as an abbreviation with a name of PMDA. And the PMDA and the Ministry of Health and Labor Welfare is quite close. And actual regulator is from PMDA. However, the policymaker is of the healthcare or medical area made by Ministry of Health. That is a general understanding of the relationship between the two organizations. If it is wrong, please correct me, Dr. Isobe and Dr. Maruyama. Then I move to pass my microphone to Dr. Toda, who is the chairman of the firm. Please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Suzuki-san. I'm chairman of the firm in Japan. We are very happy to organize this early morning meeting. Also, such a many audience and participants already comes. We are very, very happy. Today, we are organizing our morning session. Before starting this presentation, I'd like to stress again our Japanese firm's kind of main status of this now. We are already implementing new regulatory framework. This is very, very advancing framework. And then we overcome first target to accelerate this regenerative medicine and cell therapy new industry. But also we are now facing second kind of obstacle or problem, how to tackle. Then thirdly, we'd like to implement real industrial business of this area. So we are, of course, we are very positive and optimistic. We will surely overcome this practical issue. So today's presentation is very, very, in that sense, important. This is one of the real evidence, the cooperation with government and industry and also academia. Please understand our kind of real challenge in Japan, and also we are very open to collaborate with external members, not only in Japan and also outside, kind of open innovation. This is our also purpose. So just before presentation, I'd like to say thank you again for your collaboration. Also, please participate to a new Japanese industrial framework. Thank you very much for attending this meeting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Toda. Next speaker is Mr. Nishimura from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. Mr. Nishimura, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Suzuki-san. My name is Hidetaka Nishimura. I'm a Japanese government official from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. It's commonly called as MEDI in Japan. So I'm from MEDI. I'm in charge of promoting bioindustry, including biomedicine and regenerative medicine. Today, I'm very glad to talk about our policy, especially on regenerative medicine. First, I would like to emphasize we are really proud Japan has now become the country which has the most attractive and the most advanced legal framework and business environment for regenerative medicine in the world. I will begin with market size of regenerative medicine. This estimate was done by our ministry, Japanese government. These figures show the market size of regenerative medicine. It is expected to grow so rapidly, both in Japan and in the world. Japanese market size was $90 million in 2012, but it is growing fast. Thus, it will be more than 10 times to $950 million in 2020. And lastly, it will become $25 billion in 2050. The world market size is also expected to grow fast. It will expand to $380 billion by 2050. In order to realize these numbers, Japanese government, METI, promises to continue to support everyone, every company, and every institute working in the field of regenerative medicine. I will explain about our government structure. Since the Japanese government, operating under the Abenomics, recognize the vital importance of the healthcare industry, Japan is now very ambitious to promote innovative drugs, medical devices, and regenerative medicine. There are three main ministries: Ministry of Education, and this ministry is in charge of education and basic research. And my ministry, METI, in charge of supporting companies' activity and promoting industry. And also Ministry of Health, in charge of for medical care system and granting approvals. Those three ministries play key role for the industry. Now, the three ministries are closely working together to make strategy and promotion plan and also formulate policy in this field. In addition, in order to promote medical research and development, Japanese government established a new national R&D agency, MEDINET. The function and allocation of national medical R&D funding, which are formally operated by the three ministries respectively, are now consolidated to the MEDINET. We expect regenerative medicine products would be provided quickly, at high quality, and at low cost with the MEDINET. To take advantage of this potential, Japanese government established new legal framework for regenerative medicine. These two acts have revolutionarily changed the condition of regenerative medicine in Japan. The acts introduced a specific regulatory system for regenerative medicine, such as expedited approval system, and a new license scheme for cell processing centers outside medical institutions. No. Yes. Oh. Yes. This sheet, I'm sorry. This sheet shows special features of newly introduced legal framework. However, this part will be explained precisely by the next speaker, Mr. Isobe, probably, from Ministry of Health. So I will skip this sheet. Japan has many advantages in terms of business aspects of regenerative medicine, even other than the new legal framework. First of all, Japanese government set some national medical strategic special zones where clinics, medical institutes, and many advanced tech companies are located. In these zones, the Japanese government grants special treatment to companies and medical institutions, such as tax reduction and relaxation of regulations. The second reason is Japan is the second largest single market of medical drugs. Of course, the largest market is the US, but in light of the new regulation, we expect that the market size of regenerative medicine in Japan will grow quite rapidly and want to chase the US intensely. Thirdly, wide range of advanced medical device or equipment suppliers or service providers exist. For example, Nipro provides automatically culturing apparatus, and MEDINET provides cell manufacturing services. There are many others. Fourth, basic and scientific researches in Japan are top level. I'm really glad to share the information. Actually, I did the exact same thing last year. And anyway, I'm very, very happy to be able to do the same announcement here. A Japanese scientist, Mr. Yoshinori Osumi, honored to win this year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine on Monday this week. Last year, Mr. Satoshi Omura won the prize. Companies can cooperate with the excellent scientists and scientific institutes or universities in Japan. In addition, reliable Japanese companies, scientists, doctors, and patients will provide high-quality clinical trial environment. By the way, it is certain producing high-quality regenerative medicine products calls for a lot of advanced technologies. For example, good cell processing equipment, incubators, culturing devices, and cell assessment technologies are needed to create high-quality products. And also, high-quality reagent mediums are also mandatory. As I mentioned in the previous page, a lot of excellent suppliers and service providers exist in Japan. Japanese government encourages collaboration among those companies and institutes to deliver innovative new therapeutic methods and products to the awaiting patients. As a result of the legal reform, many companies are attracted to the regenerative medicine business. FARM is the Industry Association of Regenerative Medicine in Japan. The number of member companies is increasing dramatically. I heard number of FARM members reached 198, almost 200, as of last month. In addition, which should be noted is wide range of companies has engaged in the field. You can find not only pharmaceutical companies, but also chemicals, materials, transportation, even insurance or consulting firms in the firm members list. To encourage regenerative medicine industry, the government of Japan provides various promotion measures. Japanese government prepares over 4.9 billion yen. It's about $49 million to promote regenerative medicine development in fiscal year of 2016. Today, I will introduce some measures. First, MEDI conducts some R&D project to create process innovation and develop evaluation method. And also, to make business environment better, we support to create business innovation hub for regenerative medicine. I'll mention more about this with the next slide. In addition, we support to create new standards and encourage business matching and international cooperation to promote R&D of regenerative medicine. By the way, now Japan is in negotiation season for next year's budget. So, three ministries are requesting to increase the budget to Ministry of Finance. But as you may know, budget negotiation very tough. Anyway, the result of budget can be seen at the end of this year. Please wait a minute. Japan newly opened a Global Innovation Center of Regenerative Medicine Business in April this year. A lot of farm member companies opened their offices in this center. In addition, the center is surrounded by important public research institutes in the field of regenerative medicine, such as National Institute of Health Science, Central Institute for Experimental Animals, and Innovation Center of Nanomedicine. Furthermore, the Life Innovation Center is located just beside Tokyo Haneda International Airport. It's only 15 minutes walk distance from the airport with a new bridge under construction. The bridge will be constructed by 2020, the Olympic year in Tokyo. We believe that it's the best place to set up your new Japan office here. And Japan is willing to help foreign companies do business in Japan. JETRO, which is one of the governmental organizations, will help you establish your company in Japan. For example, JETRO can offer business matching opportunity and provide temporary office offered free of charge and prepare business information. You can also consult with JETRO about location, taxation, and so on. In addition, FARM opened a consulting counter for foreign companies interested in Japan. If you want to find business partner in Japan or get information about business environment, please contact FARM. We hope foreign companies interested in regenerative medicine businesses make full use of these services and develop effective products in Japan to serve them to patients longing for new therapeutic methods around the world. Japan aims to be a global collaboration hub of regenerative medicine. Japanese government welcomes all kinds of overseas companies, including companies of medical equipment, devices, reagent, and transportation, and so on. We believe combination of new legal framework and industrial collaboration is the only way to realize innovations and produce effective products most promptly. In September last year, 2 new regenerative medicine products honored to get the first approvals under the new legislation from the Ministry of Health. As JCR Pharma got the regular permanent approval, Thermo got the conditional 5 years approval that was newly introduced. It is conditional approval, but approval is approval. So Thermo can start marketing. Actually, they have already started to sell the product. Thermo's approvals demonstrated the new approval system was able to shorten time period for developing new products. Some decisive foreign companies have already entered into promising Japanese market or started collaboration businesses with Japanese companies. This slide shows some examples. For example, Replicel made a licensing contract with Shiseido on its hair regeneration technology. Shiseido is #1 cosmetic company in Japan. Asasis and Helios agreed to develop a commercialized multi-stem cell therapy for ischemic stroke in Japan. Lonza cooperates with Nikon. They will start contract cell manufacturing business in Japan. Nikon is famous for optical instrument. Still, many other foreign companies have been contacting with us. So we expect more and more companies will start their business in Japan. Furthermore, Invest Japan is one of our top priority policy. We will strongly assist you. This is last slide. This February, Japan established subsidy program exclusively for foreign companies' direct investment to Japan. We set only 2 target fields for this program. One of them is, of course, regenerative medicine. Using this program, I'm glad to announce 2 more foreign companies, Siemens Healthcare from Germany and Agilis Biotherapeutics from the US, will set up new business base in Japan. Now, I want to recap. In Japan, a new legal framework for regenerative medicine came into force in November 2014. We are confident this new legal framework and high-quality business environment is setting Japan a very attractive place for both R&D and the practical application of regenerative medicine. We welcome many companies and many institutes which start their businesses in Japan. don't hesitate to contact JETRO, FARM, and also me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nishimura. It is quite useful information provided from him. And I'd like to make a Q&A session to you. However, there is a time limit for us. Therefore, we move forward to the next speakers. Next speaker is Dr. Isobe from Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. Dr. Isobe, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for Mr. Suzuki as a promotion, and also to the Nishimura-san, my sincere friend, and usually very often to this close discussion of the Minister of Industry and also PMDA, and I thank you for the propaganda of the MHLW. Thank you so much. And I am Soichiro Isobe from MHLW Japan, and I'm in charge of the responsibility authority of approval, regenerative medicine, and also the medical devices and IVD. And the Suzuki-san firstly mentioned it. MHLW, Ministry of Health and Welfare, and PMD, what kind of relations? And our ministry is a responsibility of approval. And based on review by PMDA. Review authority is PMDA. Your companies applied the PMDA for review. And after that, the review process by PMDA to the application document to transfer to the MHLWs. And the MHLW will decide approval or non-approval. It's very simple relations. And so today, I would also like to express my appreciation to the organizer of MESA, FARM, and ARM to invite me to this important conference in La Jolla. I'm second visit of La Jolla. Very nice place. Very warm, and Tokyo is very, recently days it's very hot and humid. Terrible. But La Jolla is very nice place. Thanks so much. And today I am talking about the trend of regulatory environment of advanced therapies over the last couple of years, focused on the Japanese regulatory reform. And today, many slides to mention, I mentioned it. But I asked the farm secretariat, if you needed today's slide, you contact the farm secretariat to provide by farm secretariat our slide. Today is very relaxed to organize. And どうしたらいいんだこれ真ん中ボタンはいこれでいいどっちもう一回強く No Which Where I'm so sorry I'm an analog person and I'm not digital. And firstly, I'm performance of the PMDA's NDA is New Drug Application Review, the period time. Here is our overall performance of New Drug Review by PMDA over the last 10 years. Here? Here. And the EMEA, European Medical Equipment Agency, and FDA. And benchmarking with other regulatory agencies. And we have been successfully reducing total review time over the last 5 years. This means, and it is a medicine approval time for new drug entities and approved by ICH agencies by approval years. It is PMDA. PMDA is very reduction of the period of time, and FDA and EMA. In the current, yes, in the current 5-year midterm plans, we will set higher goals to achieve in order to satisfy transparency and higher expectancy of timeline. This is a result of our efforts. PMDA envisages to proceed more evaluation of lead time. A new regulatory framework for cell therapy products. My sincere friend Nishimura-san skipped this slide. All right, new legislative framework. Let me touch upon the story of the regulatory reform, just briefly on regulatory change of the last couple of years. The Japanese diet passed the Regenerative Medicine Promotion Act. We have two acts regarding of regenerative medicines. The Regenerative Medicine Promotion Act to accelerate R&D of new therapies and to improve early patient access or promotes promising regenerative medicine in Japan. It triggered the regulatory reform, not simply deregulations related to regenerative medicines. In line with the political initiative, such as the Regenerative Medicine Promotion Act, the revision of Pharmaceutical Affairs Law, and the Act of Safety of Regenerative Medicine came into effect in November 2014. PAL was renamed the Pharmaceuticals, Medical Device, and Other Therapeutic Products Act, for short PMDA Act. We mentioned it. Here is overview of regenerative researches available in Japan. After the implementation of the new act on the safety of regenerative medicine, so far, 2,700 cell provision plants have been filled at MHLWs, and including 79 new clinical trials researches. And this also gives you idea that the academic clinical researches can be the source of regenerative product development. Now PMDA field, sorry. これジャスト戻るのどうしたんですか。あ、これか。すいません。そうだな。33 clinical trials initiated is fill out. Trials are so far making authorization purposes. My talk today to focus is pharmaceutical regulations. My in charge of the PMDA is PMD Act. Sorry. This process is other division in charge of. In the new regulatory framework, in the right-hand side, if a sponsor intends product application of cell therapy product for commercial purposes, you will go through the IND process and marketing authorization review of PMDA under the PMDA Act. This process. New PMDA Act gives us a third category, which is distinct from drugs and devices. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Regenerative medical products and former situation drug or devices. As the third categories we mentioned in the prescribed in the law. And we believe this regulatory reform can improve patient access to regenerative medical products. Before the enactment of revised act, the products in this category were regulated either by pharmaceutical or medical device regulation, depending on the mode of action of the products. It would take a long time for clinical trials and review. Yeah, Nishimura-san mentioned it. If regulators pursue the conventional drug guidelines based on the following characteristics: limited in number of patients available for clinical trials, and difficult to conduct controlled studies to demonstrate clinical benefit due to the stage of disease or the intervention associated with the products, and also heterogeneity of quality of the regenerative medicines. We should take them into account to realign the review system in order to expedite R&D and reviews. In the review system, benefit and risk balance discussions in variable challenges, namely acceptable level of clinical effectiveness versus patient access to the new therapies. It is very versus. In the process, expected benefit must outweigh the risk to patient. Regulatory decision for approval should be based on regulatory sciences. We always use regulatory science in terms of social responsibility for public health. And it is a comparison of the US, FDA, EU, EMA, and Japan, PMDA, MHLWs. Various agencies have various approach accommodate patient access through they have certain similarities, such as they mentioned it. Priorities as orphan. USFD priority review orphan designation, and also orphan designation, also Japan is orphan designation system. It's very close. And also conditional challenges is we mentioned the conditional time limited approval for regenerative medicine called new scheme of in the base of the amendment of the law. And also the US FDA accelerated approval for serious or life-threatening illness, and also the EU conditional MA under exceptional circumstances, and also the we conditional time limited for approval. It is very newest regulatory forms. And also the EU is a pilot project of the adaptive path. And rolling submissions and breakthrough therapy, US FDA is promoted. And also after that, we mentioned it, forerunner review assignment, very newest one is a new scheme. And also EMA Prime, they mentioned it. And expedite approval system under PMD Act. I'm so sorry. The marketing authorizations very phase is before time. Now turn into Japan in the approval process, conditional and time-limited authorization can be applied in this regulatory reform on PMD Act. And it allows approvals with clinical data reasonably likely to predict clinical benefit before completing the confirmatory trials. However, the PMDA Act requires further safety assurance during the post-marketing phase and additional clinical data for confirmation of the evidence. For the second application following within maximum 7 years time. It's very early access of the patient of the new therapies, this system. And but reapplication within the period in maximum 7 years. Marketing. And other is finally, in this section, I will touch upon the no fault or indemnity of the compensation scheme as a unique system in the world. For the product under PMD Act, the public relief funds cover for the injury and infections associated with regenerative products. This allows for the security of patient for new technologies. Yes, regenerative medical products. It is a conditional approval and adverse drug reaction ready fund. Medical devices non-apply, but regenerative medicines is ready fund used, and if the patient injured, and infection relief fund also to the covered of the if patient the infectious diseases or some kind of the injuries or so on. And fast acceleration, we are always to next. We promote the next stage, next stage. We get it, and it is strategy of sakigake. Sakigake is a Japanese language, and forerunner review assignment system. Today, last week, my present early access scheme of the pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and regenerative medicines. The first one is so-called sakigake in English, forerunner review assignment process. We just started the pilot in May 2015. Sakigake designation scheme. It is called sakigake. We just started in 2015 May, while we have already had some expedited scheme in place for product review, such as priority review, specific approvals for oncology, orphan drugs, or regenerative medicines. We will further accommodate the demand of access more comprehensively. The forerunner review assignment system will expand the scope to the treatments of expected prominent effectiveness intended to be marketed firstly in Japan. It's mentioned it's very innovative therapy and applied for approval firstly or simultaneously in the other regions in Japan, and prominent effectiveness can be expected with designation in the development stage. And if the designation is mentioned in the prioritized consultation and substantial pre-application consultation and prioritized reviews in the half time the review process, and also to the PMDA provide the concierge in the developing stage, and many open discussion on how to go to the goal of approval and substantial post-marketing safety measures. This is general time frame is mentioned. And so also the so I'm so sorry. And review partners, PMD concierges, very I heard company and also academic members mentioned the PMD concierge is very useful. And this new system will enable a PMDA to shorten review time from 12 months to 6 months using rolling submission of data as prior review during phase 3 once the assignment was done. It is a system similar to breakthrough therapy, a designation by US FDA. At the point, 3 regenerative medical products were assigned for sakigake on 10th February of 2016, this year. It shows you the bridging of regenerative technology derived from academic institution to product development. Based on this pilot, we will consider expansion for sakigake in future. And also to the, we announced October 3rd, this week, the second application of second round of sakigake. The STR01 is a nerve syndrome and dysfunction caused by spinal cord injury, NIPRO and Sapporo Medical Universities. And D4 47 delta malignant glioma, Daiichi Sankyo from the Institute of Medical Sciences, University of Tokyo, and autologous cardiac progenitive stem cells. It is Japan Regenerative Medicines and Okayama Universities with assignment of the Sakigake project. And next one is very newest one, fast break scheme for innovative medical devices. On the basis of experience of the regenerative medicines, we announced of the idea of the fast break scheme for innovative medical devices. Now, this scheme accelerates approval of innovative medical devices which are extremely effective and safety, but are difficult to conduct clinical trials because of, for example, very low number of patients and so on. It resembles to the new scheme for regenerative medical products I mentioned before. We can accelerate approval of such promising medical devices by minimizing the burden of clinical trials while enhancing the post-market surveillance. We think the balance between pre- and post-market evidence requirement is a key to accelerated approval. It is just in our thought now and needs further consideration and discussion to be realized. We call this fast break scheme with expectation. Like a method of attack in basketball game, we would like to facilitate fast and effective introduction of innovative medical devices to the public by this scheme. And regarding report, it is now report from advisory panel of promotion of medical ventures. It's a summary. The advisory panel, our ministry, Mr. Shiozaki, a very strong initiative to the member of Ministry of Health and Welfare. I briefly introduce the background of this scheme. We are trying to build up a sustainable development cycle in Japan. We have been aware the importance of the innovative venture enterprise. They will create new world by inventing new products, pioneer a new paradigm for society and economies. Especially medical venture will be very important, so that we are thinking how we can promote medical ventures. We established an advisory panel for these issues, and this is a summary of report of the advisory panels. They mentioned it. There is a very high growth potential in healthcare, and venture companies are at the center of the innovation of drugs, medical devices, also to the regenerative medicines. And the promotion of medical ventures is necessary right now in Japan. And 3 types of medical ventures grow by itself and acquire by large companies and enter from different industries. And also to the these schemes, I'm so sorry. The issue of promotion of medical ventures, the characteristic of medical ventures, high-level science is very, very important issues. And also, it takes extremely long time and needs an enormous amount of money before it's very, very hard work. And there are a lot of difficulties to understand regulations of medicines. It is very also hard and difficult, very, very small numbers of medical small members also. It is very hard to get good regulatory specialist. Oh, so sorry. It's also, and I usually to use the Japanese language. It's very hard to use English. To foster human resources is not easy because it's my time cost and so on. And also Japan's advantage of this advantage, the report mentioned it. And advantage, there are many world-class seats in universities and research institutions. Also, the Nishimura-san mentioned it. This week, Nobel Prize, Dr. Osumi mentioned it. And there are many clinical researches in hospitals, and also to the Japanese medical doctor and patients, very honest. Yeah, medical doctors very honesty to describe the right document or so on, and also to the patient also the very honest to the. I'm so sorry. Drug intake or symptoms and so on. Very, very honesty. And many small, medium-sized companies have good quality manufacturing technologies. It's very small companies are but good technologies use it. And the approval process of drug get faster. But disadvantage, entrepreneur is very few. It is very hard. But maybe many persons to growing of the entrepreneur, I think so. Toda-san is also there, I think so. And venture capital is not enough, and human capital relationship with other countries is not close. Venture companies are not considered in the medical system, and successful example. Yeah, it is very hard. I think it's very hard point is a successful example. But we promote the successful examples and get growers, I think. And yeah, Mr. Shiozaki has mentioned it. It is part. It's three keywords. From, I'm sorry. Mr. Shiozaki mentioned it for me, for us. Three principles. From regulation to development, from carefully to speedy, from macro to micro, and three pillars to establish best system to create the ecosystem. Mr. Shiozaki like very ecosystem, and I think the system is very similar to the Silicon Valley or so on, I think. To foster human resources and places of interaction and organization supported by all MHLWs. And the vision policies to the center of innovation and good cycle of innovation. And it is also. The source measured to the first pillars in the very first step. They suggested accelerated approval for innovative medical devices. This is the base of fast break scheme. It is it's a fast break scheme, and also to the drug and medical device pricing system is very we are promoted. Yeah, promoted. Sorry, we are proposal. I'm so sorry. The venture advisory panel propose the collaboration consultation scheme, regulatory side and the national insurance side. I'm so sorry, it is not precisely. And also to the proper pricing for the characteristic of venture companies and the proper pricing of innovation. And the price side is also mentioned. And support for the post-market surveillance and support for global business. It is this kind of the proposal mentioned in the report. And specific measures of three pillars, ecosystem. That shows the second and third pillars. We all MHLW try to help medical ventures. Fast break scheme will be an important part of these measures, and also it can help not only patients but also Japan's economic growth. However, we have just started thinking, so that there are many subjects to consider: the scope of the scheme, the way of pre-market review with limited number of cases, overseas data and literature, and post-market safety monitoring system, which enable the scheme. I believe that I will report the launch of this new scheme in the next year's session. Please accept expected and wait to see. But I don't promising to come to this year, next year. I'm so sorry. And also to the support for small biotech enterprise. Support for small biotech enterprise. MHLW published the report on the development for the small biotech enterprise of health innovation on the 29th July 2016, this year. The report recommended all MHW support system for bioventures, medical ventures, as one of the major approaches, specific regulatory consultation mechanism in consistent with pricing evaluation during product. Yeah, I mentioned, before mentioned it, specific regulatory consultation. And also to the MHLW and the PMDA will launch new office to prepare supporting bioventure in October 2016. But it is a kind of mistake. It is not well. It's launched in the 1st of October. Very new information. And Venture Strategy Support Office at MHLW is the Economics Division, and also the PMDA, a small size business development support office at PMDA, and also to our bureau, Venture Support Group at Core Clinical Research Hospitals. Sorry, it is just regarding a mistake. I think the Venture Support Group is our bureaus also. Maybe main clinical hospitals also to be here. And PDCA cycle for the venture support. Very, very well promote of the medical and bioventures by MHLWs. Also to base close cooperation of the Ministry of Industry, I think so. And sharing of information. Finally, as shown in the slide, PMDA is involving in various multilateral activities, including IPRF, International Pharmaceutical Regulatory Forum, and ICH, International Conference of Harmonization, and WHO, World Health Organization. And in this year, we joined the ATMP, Advanced Therapy for Medical Products, a cluster teleconference with USFDA, Health Canada, and EMEA. We actively continue to participate in international regulatory dialogues to exchange scientific information and make scientific alignment with other agencies. And yes, time pressure is there. Thank you for your very kind attention. To conclude, on the basis of regulatory science, MHLW and PMDA are conducting review of innovative medical technology like regenerative medicines. On the basis of always we mentioned is regulatory sciences, we would like to contribute to the world medicine in cooperation with other regulatory agents in the world. I also welcome you to Japanese market to benefit the Japanese patient who long for the new and effective medicine. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Isobe. He explained a very detailed and comprehensive explanation about the activity and also the regulation or policy making of the Ministry of Health and Labor and Welfare. And the next speaker will be Dr. Maruyama from PMDA. Please, Dr. Maruyama.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the kind introduction of the Suzuki-san. So first of all, I'd like to say thanks to firm and ARM organizer to invite me this meeting. So already previous two speakers introduced a new regulatory framework in Japan. So I just focus on that consultation and review process done by PMDA today. Okay. green button. Okay. I'm sorry. Just one place. So this slide shows that the consultation and review pathway, submission or for IND and marketing authorization application are very important for your you. And I think most of you are interested in the conditional and time limited approval system in Japan. So today I focus on that's 2 points. First one is IND review, and the second one is marketing authorization application regarding to the conditional and time limited authorization. So first, IND review. Okay. So these 5 documents should attach the IND submission. I guess there is no gap between the US and Japan, and I think, and also there is no difference to pharmaceutical drugs and regenerative medical product. The first notification of regarding trials products must be submitted at least more than 31 days before, and notification of others shall submitted 2 weeks before the day of planning on contract with medical institutes. Okay. To prevent the occurrence or spread of hazard to the public, we review these points. For ingredients, especially human and animal-derived raw materials, we review the ensuring the quality and safety of ingredient according to the standards for biological raw materials. And also, we would like to know how consistent the manufacturing process and specification for materials, intermediate, and final product are suitable, and non-clinical safety studies are sufficient to start human trial. So already 35 clinical trials, including 10 gene therapy products, have been initiated. So before IND submission, in order to facilitate the development, PMDA starts the pharmaceutical affairs consultation on research and development strategy for scientific advice by 2011. This is not simply giving advice to sponsors, but thinking together against the challenges. So this slide shows the number of the face-to-face meeting, the number of the consultation in the regenerative medical product has been increasing. The proportion of the category has also been growing and close to the half of this consultation. And 75% are application from applied from biotech companies and academia. I should mention that consultation fee reduced 90% for biotech company and academia. Just for example, that the criteria is the employee number is less than 300, or capital fund is less than $3 million US. So due to the reduced inequality from PMDA during IND review, this strategic consultation for quality and non-clinical study are mandatory before IND submission. So otherwise, PMDA will not be able to complete IND review in 30 days, which may result in a clinical hold degree. So I just show you the example of the consultation before IND submission. And I should mention that the consultation for quality and non-clinical safety study, you can continue the consultation many times by one payment. So first quality part. For the requirements for the human cell and tissue collection, the following criteria are applied to the donor. Okay. The interviews, examination, and tests must rule out of the infection by bacteria, fungus, virus. The time test items and method must be appropriate in light of the latest available information regarding infection disease, and more must be retesting performed in an appropriate time frame with consideration made for the window period. Okay. So this slide shows the donor selection criteria and eligibility. So I just skip to this slide, very short. Just to mention one point, special consideration should be given to the HBV, HCV, HIV, and HTLV for autologous, and more than the allogenic. I think that time is very short, limited, so I just skip this slide. So okay. And this is a specification for the final product. This slide is just an example. So during the consultation, please provide the rationale for this specification. So we reviewed to the you said the specification is suitable for start clinical trials. Okay. So next, let's move on to the non-clinical studies. So there are many different points to consider that during the non-clinical studies, evaluation of regenerative medical products. For example, transformation of the transplant cell, tumorigenicity, and impurity evaluation from manufacturing process. When planning the non-clinical safety studies, the relevant and limitation of the animal studies should be carefully considered and fully discussed. In many cases, the regenerative medical products are subjected hazard identification rather than the risk assessment. The necessity of the in vivo tumorigenicity tests should be considered on case-by-case basis, depend on the product characteristics. So let's move to the clinical trials. So if your clinical question is clinical trial protocol for up to the proof of concept, pharmaceutical affairs consultation of R&D strategy is available. If more than that, please use a regular consultation, such as before and after exploratory study meeting. And this slide shows that frequently asked issued on designing clinical trial consultation. For example, difficulty for setting parallel control arms and keeping blindness. And some cases, we discuss about the feasibility of multi-regional clinical trials, including Japanese. One of the challenges is that to design the scientifically sound clinical trial under the limited conditions. If exploratory study designs for the small population, it may not be easy to ensure the evidence level, even for the conditional approval. Okay. So let's move on to the marketing authorization application. So this scheme already mentioned previously speaker. Okay, I just skip this explanation. Next slide, yeah. So whether the condition or normal approval is to be sorted out during review process depend on the clinical data. This is literally in the law. For marketing authorization application, there is no difference between the normal or conditional time authorization pathway. Next. So this review dossier, CTD for the pharmaceutical drug or STET for the medical devices, both are applicable for the submission. Next, please. And these 9 documentation should attach the marketing authorization application submission. Next, please. So this scheme is a review process, and this is shows that between the relationship between the PMDA and the MHLW. And this scheme also the same. There is no difference for the conditional or full approval system. Okay. So next, please. So I just show you the example for the product review. Next. So these 2 products are recently, actually last year, just approved the new under the new framework. Okay. The next, please. So first one is a Temcel. This is a full approval. The first one is a bone marrow mesenchymal stem cell, indicating for the steroid refractory acute GVHD. And the technology is transferred from the mesoblast, used to be called Osiris, and called prochimal in Canada, US, and New Zealand, I think. So this product is to be used like shown in this slide, please. The clinical data was collected in the confirmatory clinical study, referred to the corresponding foreign clinical data. Next page. Okay. So this hot sheet is first approval for the conditional and time-limited authorization. This product is a skeletal myoblast sheet, indicating for the serious heart failure due to the ischemic heart disease. Okay, this slide shows that just the product is very unique. This two-step manufacturing process exists. The first one is cell cultures conducted in the companies, and follow the harvest tissue from the patient. And secondly, this sheet was produced in the hospital. Its sheet is performed at the cell processing facility of each hospital. Okay. Next one, please. The product was approved based on the exploratory clinical trial using surrogate endpoints, and also using the comprehensive clinical evaluation of each subject. This is just seven patient data only. So we just focus on each patient data to enhance the clinical data. So we expected the reasonably likely efficacy by observing the survival compared to the external control. So, however, a confirmatory post-marketing study was needed to demonstrate the true endpoint. So, through this first experience for the conditional time-limited approval system, so this is the last slide. So I just mentioned before this marketing authorization application. So this is the last slide. The PMD Act requires a further safety assurance during the post-marketing phase and additional clinical data for confirmation of the evidence for the second application following within a maximum of 7 years. So efficacy data as well as plan of the post-marketing study or clinical study followed by the conditional time-limited approval are key contents for marketing authorization application submission. Okay. So if this plan is if this plan is likely not realistic, then this system is very difficult to write. So if collecting the control data, or maybe this is we should discuss about case by case. But if collecting control data is difficult during the post-marketing phase, it may not be easy to confirm of efficacy and difficult to sort out for conditional time-limited approved pathway. So please use the consultation for the pre-submission meeting to make sure that the efficacy data is sufficient for the marketing authorization application, and use the consultation on the designing clinical study after conditional and time-limited authorization to discuss the feasibility of collecting data during post-marketing phase. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maruyama. And he explained the review pathway and also the cases of the approval under the new regulatory framework. Thank you very much indeed. And there are very limited time remained for us, and unfortunately there is no session for the Q&A, but after the hold sessions, you may have a direct contact with three gentlemen from government of Japan later on. And lastly, as a closing remarks, Dr. Iwai from a firm will make closing remarks. Please.
Suzuki-san, thank you very much. Next slide, please. My name is Kunihiko Iwai. I'm Vice Chairman of FAM. First of all, I must say thank you very much for joining us this morning. And so in addition, I also, for FAM, would like to say deep thanks to all three speakers. FAM is a Japanese regenerative medicine industry association, dedicating to human health through regenerative medicine and cell therapies. And FAM fosters regenerative medicine to the industries in Japan. So we make a big alliance through the industries. Next slide, please. And so I'd like this, FAM's activities expanded globally. So FAM makes good relationship with North American communities such as and Canada and European good teams. And so these days, we have the communication with the Asian members. So through those activities, FAM would like to stimulate the global alliance. Next slide, please. And anyway, today, we have three speakers. Nishimura-san explains Japanese industry circumstances of regenerative medicines. And so he says that Japan promotes innovative therapies. And so therefore, METI can support collaboration with the Japanese industry and overseas industries, and through JETRO and FAM activities. And so next speaker, Isobe-san, explains their concept about regulatory science, which stand on the benefit and risk balances. And so he told us that there are two major activities of Japan authorities. The first one is so-called PMD Act, in which those activity gives us conditional approval. And the second one is Sakigake activities. Sakigake is forerunner review assignment system, so-called Japanese style fast-track designation. And so in addition, MHLW, to promote and support the medical ventures by the three principles and three pillars. And finally, Maruyama-san reviews the PMD review processes of our regenerative medicines, in which he said that some issues are there. One of them is the standardization of the human cells and tissues, including donor selection and eligibility, and safety assessment. And actually, the PMDA's consultation is very, very useful. So therefore, whenever you enter the Japanese market, please contact PMDA. The next slide, please. Anyway, so the key is progressive regulatory framework in Japan. This is advantages in Japan. Next slide, please. And so I must say that tomorrow, so we have another meetings. Please come to and get useful information through those meetings. Next slide, please. Anyway, so let me say thanks again to joining this meeting. I hope this meeting is quite useful and informative for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iwai. The ODS, the program of this session is finished. And thank you very much for joining us early in this morning. And if you can utilize this opportunity to make a further action to make a business there in Japan in future. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.